Holy Grails are one of the rarest and most valuable resources in Fate Grand Order, so it's worth it to talk about what they are and how I think they should best be used. What they are is an item that is given to you for the successful completion of story chapters as well as certain events. They can then be given to a servant of your choosing to increase that servant's level cap. The amount by which they will go up depends on the servant's rarity as well as on their current level. By increasing their level cap, you can then continue to level the servant up to an absolute maximum of 100, thereby improving their stats in the process. Additionally, the Grails will change the servant's card border from brown to silver to gold as their level goes up, if they are not already a SR or SSR. And additionally, you will get this Grail icon in a couple of places to signify that you have grailed the servant. Now, there's two major schools of thought as far as how these Grails should be used. The first of which, and most popular in the community generally, I would say, is the idea of just grailing for love. They say that the Grail is a marker of affection that you have for your servant, and that you should do it without any regards to the gameplay that you may be modifying, because the stat gains from grailing are most often quite negligible and not really worth consideration. So just grail the servants you like the most to display your devotion to them. Other major school of thought is to grail for gameplay. If there's a servant that you enjoy grailing, or enjoy using, they say, you want to get the most that you can out of them. To do so, you need to grail them and improve their stats as much as possible. I think it's best when you can accomplish both at the same time. This servant who I have here is an example of that. I enjoy her personality, I like her design, I like her animations, I also enjoy using her, and I enjoy her gameplay. So I've grailed her for both reasons. So that's one example of kind of a well-balanced grail on my account, that this would be a unit who satisfies both criteria. On the other hand is a servant like Cucullin, who is grailed with zero regard for his personality or any non-gameplay factor. I just enjoy his gameplay. I enjoy using him to solo levels and boss fights. In order to do that, a lot of the time he needs the additional attack and HP stats that he gets from Grails in order to perform at his best and clear levels all by himself. So I've grailed him for that reason, and if I hated his personality or his design, I would still really like his gameplay, and he would still be grailed on my account. Couple things to keep in mind as far as the technical side of the Grails and how the stat increases from them actually function, if gameplay is a concern for you in this decision-making process. Firstly, that low rarity units are going to get more out of these Grails. So Cucullin here has, at his natural level cap of 70, has a attack stat of 7,239. Once he is grailed, that goes up to 9,797, which is about a 35% increase. Now that's really significant. That makes quite a big difference. If we switch over to one of my SSRs, Gilgamesh has a natural attack stat cap of 12,280, and with Grails that goes up to 13,442, which is only about a 9% increase. So that's obviously a lot less impactful compared to the 35% bonus that Cucullin is going to get for the purpose of that example. So as you can see, low rarity units are going to get quite a bit more out of these Grails. They're going to get quite a heftier performance increase compared to if you're grailing your high rarity servants. That's kind of just adding an additional little cherry on top. Whereas for some low rarity units, having Grails can dramatically affect their performance and how they actually function in the game. One other thing to keep in mind is that some classes in this game have, actually all classes have class modifiers that the game never tells you about. But there are some classes who will actually have a positive modifier and some who will have a negative modifier. I'm going to have a link to a chart for easy reference to this information in the description of the video. But essentially, there are some classes, Lancers, Berserkers, Avengers, and Rulers, who are actually going to stretch the value of these grails a little bit more than other classes because they have these better modifiers that will take the additional stats they get from the grails and then add an extra 5% or an extra 10% onto that value. So as you can see, when you're starting out grailing, the level gains will be quite high and the cost will be pretty low. And then as a unit continues to level up, they will get fewer and fewer levels from these grails and the cost will get dramatically higher. When you get up to the uppermost echelons of grailing, the cost will become quite high indeed. And once they hit 90, they will only get 2 levels per grail, so it's generally recommended that unless you have a servant who you just absolutely love, it's probably most cost-effective to stop at 90. Again, I think if you have a strong enough reasoning for yourself, you can ignore that advice and quite safely so, but generally 90 is the recommended cutoff point. At that point, your gains per grail are just at a pretty wacky level of cost to value ratio. So to sum up, grail for love, grail for gameplay. Do a little bit of both if you can. Use grails cautiously, but don't let it stress you out. This should be a fun decision. This should be a happy decision, not a stressful one that you're really worried about. But just keep in mind that there are a limited enough amount of these that you don't want to use them without some, give it a good think before you grail somebody is the large point behind this whole video. If you're brand new to the channel, I'm going to have some contact information in the description. If you have any questions about this topic or about anything related to FGO, you can comment on the video or you can send me a message privately if you feel more comfortable doing that. I'm also going to have my follow code in the description if you're brand new to the game and you're having some trouble attracting friends. Then you can use my follow code to take advantage of my support list during Part 1 story quests. I can't guarantee that I have open friend slots at any given time, but an infinite amount of people can follow me, so go ahead and do that if you want to. And if you are new to the game, I also have a bunch of other videos up that are aimed at beginners, things to do early on in your account that will help you get off to a good start. So give those a watch if that sounds interesting. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will hope to see you next time.